Doing this can get your store shut down and you potentially sued.
Who'd do something like this so close to Christmas?
What's going on, everyone? Mario here with Nickel Prince, and the reason behind the video today is because I know the holidays are coming up. A lot of people are going to be getting heat presses for Christmas, and a lot of those same people are going to be starting up their own businesses, whether it be selling on Shopify on their own website, selling on Facebook groups, selling to friends and family, doing custom work, or starting up their own brand. A lot of people are going to be printing shirts and crafting. Nowadays, printing shirts from home is honestly easier than it's ever been. And if you want to learn how to do that, how to start up your own business, and some of the best tips and tricks in the game, then make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now let's just dive right into the topic of the video. Doing this can potentially get you sued, or it could get your store shut down. And for this, I'm actually going to be talking about a couple of different things, but primarily speaking, it is about not selling copyright work. Do not sell work that is trademarked. Do not sell anything that represents any brand. Do not build your brand on top of somebody else's brand. Be unique, sell your own designs. I know it's hard. I know it's hard coming up with different designs, but don't worry, because in this video, I am gonna give you a few different resources that you can use to help you out in coming out with some custom designs, even if you don't know how to design at all. So don't sell copyright work. Do not stitch on a Nike logo onto a hoodie and add SpongeBob SquarePants on there and sell it for $60 or $70. This can definitely get your stores shut down. If you're selling online like Etsy or on eBay or even on Amazon, if you're selling designs like that or anything that has to do with any branded character, any brand that's already established, Nike, Lacoste, Pokemon, Demon Slayer, Blue's Clues, whatever it may be, if it is an already established brand, if it is trademarked, these different selling marketplaces will get your store shut down. You're gonna receive a couple strikes depending on the platform, and eventually you're gonna get the boot. You are going to get shut down. Trust me, take it from experience. It happened to me on Etsy. I had a few copyright strikes a few times, and eventually my store just got shut down. It sucks, it was unfortunate, and I had to start over from scratch. But let me tell you that I'm actually kind of lucky because of the fact that this happened. So for one, it taught me, do not sell copyright work. It taught me not to do it. But two, also, I was fortunate enough to be able to open a second Etsy shop, which a lot of the times people are not able to do. Once you're banned from the platform, you're banned for good. How I got around that, how I started selling on there again, how they approved my store, I have no idea. But aside from that, if you're selling on, let's say, Shopify, if you're selling on your own website, there is a very big chance that if you're getting some good sales, if you're making some good money, that you could be hit with a cease and desist. Now, this is very dependent on what you're selling. Some brands are gonna be a lot stricter than others. So for example, I realized that when I was selling on Etsy, anything that I was selling that had to do with, let's say, Pokemon in particular, I was actually not getting any copyright strikes for it. And I had a lot of Pokemon merchandise on there. But maybe an hour or two after I uploaded anything with Demon Slayer, or maybe a day or two, that listing was taken down and I received an email saying I had a strike. That happened to me twice. So I realized, you know what? Demon Slayer is one of those that is very strict on their copyright material. Or maybe not Demon Slayer, but the producers behind them. Then sometime after, I decided I'm gonna make a Hogwarts inspired newspaper. So I was working with AR and I learned how to do this, and I thought it was super cool. So I figured I can make a custom Hogwarts inspired newspaper for my Etsy shop. And lo and behold, the moment that I posted that item, it was automatically put into my inactives and it didn't even see the light of day. So what that means is that there are obviously also some filters for certain brands that whenever it picks up on that, then it's an automatic decline. It is not going to be active, it's not going to go live. Now, eBay is a bit different when it comes to this, but they still don't allow the selling of copyright material on eBay, unless it's something that's officially Disney. So let's say an official Disney hoodie, you can obviously sell it on eBay, but you can't print your own Disney hoodie and sell that on eBay. Now, companies such as Disney are known to send cease and desist letters to people that have Shopify stores. So I've seen a lot of very successful brands start up with Disney images. For example, there was one that was making Mickey ears and they were absolutely phenomenal. Disney could have bought this company and made millions upon millions more than what they're already making. But they didn't do that. They sent them a cease and desist letter, and eventually they had to completely shut down because can't sell those. But that company was making a lot of money. When I saw their Instagram page at the time, they were huge. I don't remember the follower count, but I do remember the engagement on the pictures, and all of them were positive. People were tagging them left and right. And these Disney ears were selling for pretty expensive. They were like $60 or $75, and guaranteed it did not cost that much to make them. Of course, the work put into them is very specific. It was very meticulous, and it was very detail oriented. They were absolutely beautiful. So they were worth the money. But unfortunately, they were shut down because they weren't official and they weren't licensed by Disney. Now, I'm telling you, Disney could have taken this. They could have been like, yo, this is actually really good. Here, let me give you this amount of money. Here, let me buy these ideas off of you. Or hey, hop onto Disney and let's officially license this product. Let's get it up and going. Apparently, big guy up here, Mr. Mouse, doesn't like the little guys down here making some money. So it is what it is. And what I'm talking about isn't only for TV shows or movies or animes or anything like that, or the companies that make them like Marvel, Lionsgate, or whatever. This applies to a lot more. And one of the biggest ones that this applies to is sports teams. These people do not mess around. Let me tell you a story. Didn't happen to me. It happened to a boy of mine over in California. If I find the video, then I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below so you can all hear his story and hear what happened to him. But if you wanna learn a little bit more about my Etsy store getting shut down, just check out this video right here. It's gonna be down in the description below. In it, I cover everything that happened. But anyway, Nick from A&N Custom Prints got caught in 4K selling bootleg sports merchandise. And let me tell you, he is never doing that again. And I'm never even gonna try doing that. And honestly, neither should you. So I don't exactly remember the whole story, but I remember he was selling on Facebook Marketplace, I believe it was, or Facebook groups. And somebody reached out to him and asked him for some jerseys of a sports team. I think it was the LA something. I don't know anything about sports, but it was LA. I think it was the Lakers. Yeah, I think it was the LA Lakers. Yeah, pretty sure that's what they were. Anyway, now I'm not sure if he was offering them already or if somebody reached out to him and asked him to make them. Either way, if I find it, again, check out his video where he explains everything that happened. But he gets an order for a few jerseys. He's like, oh, this is pretty cool. All right, making some good money. He sells them, hands them off. I don't know if maybe 1, 2, or a few more transactions happened, but eventually they ordered a huge bulk order of them. And he was like, whoa, this is some pretty good money. So everything happened. He made all the shirts. Then when he went to deliver them in the parking lot, he had his kit in one hand and his box of shirts in the other. And boom, it was a sting. So he was caught selling the shirts. He ended up getting sued by the company for an insane amount of money. He had to lawyer up, go to court, get all that stuff done, waste a ton of money. And at the end of the day, it was obviously not worth it. Now, because he got caught, does that mean that you're gonna get caught? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It really all depends. It's honestly the luck of the draw. There's a lot of Etsy stores out there that have been around quite some time, and they keep selling Disney items or they keep selling copyright items and nothing's happening. I know at one point Disney actually went through Etsy and they started shutting down store by store by store. They were going hard shutting down these bootleg stores. But honestly, that at the end of the day is the luck of the draw. You might get away with it, make millions, and not have to worry about anything again, or you could get caught and get sued for millions. It really all depends. Do you want to take that risk? That is 100% up to you. If I were to start over again, honestly, I would not start selling bootleg items. I wouldn't go the copyright route just because it caused me way too many problems. It made me restart from the beginning. I had a really successful Etsy store. I had maybe 500 or 600 sales and I had a ton of positive reviews. And then once it got shut down and I started over again, I had to start from scratch and start making all of my designs by myself, which honestly would have taken me a lot longer if I didn't have PlaceIt or Vexels. Now I also use Kittl, which is actually my favorite at the moment, but having these different image resources really helped speed things up, at least in the design and mockup process, so that way I can get up and running quicker. The time that it actually took to start selling again and build up all my ratings took about a year or a year and a half. But PlaceIt is pretty much an image resource where you get different images and you can customize them. Now, I like PlaceIt primarily for mockups. I think they have really good mockups, and the coolest thing is that they have video mockups. Their designs, on the other hand, to be completely honest with you, to me are super corny. I do not like them at all. But then aside from that, there's also Vexels, and I love Vexels. I think Vexels is a great image resource. They have tons of different designs, and when I say tons, I mean they have hundreds of thousands of designs in a wide variety of niches. And on top of that, they also have mockups, but they do not have video mockups. Now, I do prefer Vexels more than anything for the actual designs, because I like the designs that they have. They're a lot more mature, they're not corny, they look good. They're made by actual artists. And if you have a subscription to them, then you can request a custom design. So I've done this quite a few different times before, and most of the times that the design that they sent over, it's good, it works. I do end up putting my own touch to it. I Photoshop it a little bit and give it my own twist, but at the end of the day, I have a solid base to work with. And that is a huge help because I can't design from scratch. I can take different pieces and put them together, but building something from the ground up, it's just not in me. As much as I wish it was, I can't do it. I'm not good at it. Now, one thing that I really don't like about Vexels though is the fact that their files are inconsistent. So sometimes you're gonna get an Illustrator file, sometimes you're gonna get an SVG file, sometimes you're gonna get a PSD file, sometimes you're gonna get a PDF file that works on an SVG software, such as Inkscape. I mean, I've learned to work with it. I use the majority of the different softwares, so I can get it to work, but some people might not like that. But rest assured that they do provide you with a JPEG and a PNG. But a lot of the times, the PNG that they provide you with is gonna have a background, unfortunately. So you might have to do a little bit of editing to get rid of that. And the third app that I mentioned is Kittl. I love Kittl. Kittl is actually fairly new, I think. I don't know. I started using them maybe a couple months ago, and to this day, they've actually been super helpful. They have a lot of different image templates that you can choose from. On there, you can actually edit all of the different templates as well. So this is like a mix of PlaceIt and Vexels. They have the maturity, I guess, and the depth of the images from Vexels, but they have the customizability that they have on PlaceIt. And on top of that, you also have AI. So you have a text to image, which I've used a couple times, and it's worked out pretty well. Again, I always end up putting my twist to it, but it works. They also have an image to vector, an AI background remover, and a few other services. Now, out of the three, honestly, my favorite is going to be Kittl, then Vexels, then PlaceIt. And if you want to check any of those out, just go ahead and check out the description down below. The link to each one of them is going to be there. Quick disclaimer, they are all affiliate links. So if you purchase something or if you subscribe, I'm going to get a small commission. Now, using these services is really going to help speed up the process of starting up your Etsy store, and it helps you with making your own custom designs and being original. So that way you don't have to resort to using somebody else's designs, at least not in terms of branded designs. Now, there is somewhat of a gray area, and that is with parody. So I don't know how parodies work exactly, to be completely honest with you. When I read up on it, it's kind of confusing. Again, it's a gray area because at the end of the day, you're taking something that's existing, but you're mashing it up with something, or you're making your own twist to it, or you're making it funny or into a parody. So that is a gray area. If you want to learn more about that, I suggest you do Google it, but I actually do parody. I like doing parody shirts. I have a website called parodytshirts.com where I sell parody t-shirts of mashups between different types of brands or different types of characters. The website to that is parodytshirts.net if you want to check that out, or if you want to make a purchase to support the channel. But again, that's kind of a gray area. If for whatever reason, God forbid, I get a cease and desist or I get told to shut down, I'm shutting it down and I'm not reopening it, and I'm going to be completely off of parodies as well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how everything goes. But I just wanted to make this video to let you all know about the dangers of selling copyright material. So be careful. I know there's going to be a lot of people right now that are starting up their own businesses, whether that be at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, or at the end of the year, whenever it is. Please take my advice and don't base your brand or your company off of someone else's. Huge thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Obviously, if you made it this far, that means you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed me talking, and you just overall found the video enjoyable. If that's the case, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. My name is Mario with Neko Prince, and with that, I'm out. Peace.